to our first edition of what will be a recurring. Well, good evening everybody, and welcome to another edition of our Meet the Habs video series. Tonight's guest is Nick Cass. Nick, thanks very much for joining us.
No problem.
Okay. So Nick, tell me a little bit about your background, where you grew up, and how you got involved in hockey, first of all.
Well, I grew up in Stickney, New Brunswick, an hour and a half away from Fredericton. I got involved in hockey because of my dad.
So you started, do you remember how old you were when you started playing hockey?
I was 5 years old.
5 years old. And so you grew up in kind of the Floresville-Stickney area, so you played your minor hockey in that area as well?
Growing up till all the way to Bantam, then we had to travel to Edmonton.
Okay. And did you play out of Edmonton actually?
Yeah, in Perth.
Okay. And did you play Bantam AAA hockey there?
Yep.
Okay. What was the name of the team?
Northwest Pioneers.
The Pioneers. Okay. Yeah. So in fact, they still have teams these days, and they're still playing. And in fact, at the Bantam level, they actually have combined with Edmonton and Woodstock area together. Now they call them Northwest Bulls, but certainly the history of those two communities playing together it goes back quite a long time. So tell me about growing up. So you played, you said your father was an influence on you. Were there any other coaches or players perhaps that influenced you to play hockey and to stick it out and become a good hockey player?
Well, Ron Arbo, my Adam coach, taught me everything I knew pretty much.
Okay.
Got me into it.
Okay. And so he was a strong influencer for you. Well, it worked out well. Nick, you're the top scorer on the Canadiens. You're having an awesome year. So Nick, you are your third year midget age player, second year with the Canadiens. And so how did last year's season go for you?
I learned a lot, I thought, but the ice time wasn't there.
Okay.
As much as I wanted, but I thought I learned a lot.
Okay. Now, Nick, I've heard you're a really dedicated hockey player, and I've heard that you work out regularly, you keep in good fitness all the time. So tell me a little bit about, let's talk a little about this season, and tell me about what are the keys to success for you personally. So obviously you're in good shape, and you like to keep in shape, you like to go to the gym. So tell me about what's a typical day during the week for you. So you go to school, you're a Leo Hay student?
Leo Hay student, I'm in co-op too, so first thing in the morning I go to the rink, help out with Mr. Allen's hockey class. Okay. And go to school, and when I get home from school I have a little snack, then walk up to the gym. Okay. Then relax, have something to eat, then go to practice. Okay. So you are at the gym or at the rink a lot? Yeah. And the co-op program, that's how many mornings a week is that? All 5. So it's all 5 mornings. And how's that program going? I've heard people really like it. Oh, I love it. Yeah, so it's a great time. And of course, Coach Allen is probably running a good program there, and you're enjoying that a lot. Awesome. Okay, so tell me a little bit about the Midget AAA League that you're playing in. How do you find the league this year as compared to last year? Changes? Last year I was a little younger, so I thought it was harder for me, but this year I'm in better shape, faster, so I feel like I can compete at a higher level. Yeah, just more experience, you're older, faster, stronger, and well, it's really come together for you really well. I mean, you're having an awesome year, so congratulations to you on that, by the way. Tell me about what makes it fun to be a midget AAA hockey player? Just everybody looks up to you, and all the young kids want to be here, but you're here. Yeah. Well, in fact, one of the other interviews I was talking about, I mean, in the city of Fredericton, this really is kind of the pinnacle of hockey. The only hockey that would be better in town here would be the university level. The players are a lot older. They've gone and most of them play major junior hockey and then come back to university. So for a lot of people, this is the pinnacle of if you come through the minor hockey system, getting to midget AAA really is the pinnacle. It's a lot of fun to watch you guys play, and I know a lot of the younger players look up to you guys and want to be midget AAA players as well. Tell me about this team. How would you describe the style of play of the Canadiens? We're a hard-working group, and we're confident. We can put the puck on the net anytime we want. Yeah. Compete with anybody in the league. Yeah, you've beat Moncton in the past, so the top team in the league, and as I said, the team's really had a really good year. I mean, at the start of the year, a very young team, a lot of first and second year players, but it's really gelled well, and it's looking really good. So that's really good.
Now, tell me about keeping fit. So I know during the season, so you're involved in a lot, just from your, not only from school, from the co-op program you're involved with, all the practices, ice times and so forth. What about off season? What do you do in the off season to keep fit?
Off season, I have a strict diet and I go to the gym and lift weights and do cardio.
Okay.
Since I can't go to Fredericton to do Canadiens or anything like that. So.
Okay. So you're very dedicated in the off season as well?
Yeah.
Well, that's important if you want to move ahead, for sure. All right, let's talk a little bit about the day of the game. So what do you do to get ready to play? Let's say that you've got an evening game. You're playing the Moncton Hawks. Let's make it up tomorrow night. So what are you going to do tomorrow to get ready to play?
I'll go to bed early tonight.
Okay.
Get up around 10. Get a good breakfast in, eggs usually.
Okay.
And relax for a bit. Do some stretching, try to get my legs moving a bit. Then have a good meal, whatever my meal is cooked usually.
Okay. Nice. And so once you get to the rink, what any kind of pre-game rituals that you go through once you get to the rink?
Me and Fillmore usually get ready together. We go on bikes together. We kind of do our own thing.
Okay. And so when you get to the rink, do you enjoy, like there's a lot of camaraderie on this team and I've heard it's a very close-knit group. So do you like to, I mean there's music playing, do you like that kind of atmosphere? There's a lot going on when you get to the rink, or do you like to get off a pint yourself and have some time on your own?
I like staying with the team usually, playing ball game.
Okay. Yeah, everyone's mentioned this ball game that you guys get. It's a volleyball game I guess you play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. All right, any rituals just before you go on the ice or heading out on the ice? Does it matter? Any particular order you go in? Or?
Me and Benji are third, we go second last, and we always do a handshake.
Nice. Oh, very nice. Nice to hear that. All right, let's switch pace here a little bit and let's talk about life outside of hockey. So you mentioned what you like to do on a game day and some of the food, but what's your favorite thing to eat?
Subway.
Subway. Nice. Any particular type of sub?
Steak and cheese.
Steak and cheese sub. Very nice. Okay, spare time. So let's say that it's a snow day and there's no school. What do you do on a spare day where you can do whatever you want?
Well, when I'm home back, I like to go wheeling.
Okay. Four-wheeling out in the country? Yeah, nice. Very good. All right. Any particular favorite movie that you've watched in the past?
Goon.
Movie Goon? Okay. A really good hockey movie. They say it's one of the top 5 hockey movies of all time, I've heard. So, very nice. I know a lot of guys mention Miracle, but Goon is one that's getting mentioned more and more all the time nowadays. Of course, it's a newer movie, so that's nice to hear for sure. Now, you've traveled a lot, so the team travels all over the place. Any particular rink or arena that you really like to play in that comes to mind?
Just the Heartland rink.
The Heartland rink?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a cold rink. Yeah, I've been there a number of times, and it's one of the coldest in the rink. I think the only cold rink I think I've been in is the Stanley rink. York Arena is pretty cold. Stanley is really cold, but yeah, Heartland would be right up there. But it is an ice rink, and the ice, of course, in those cold rinks, the ice is outstanding. So I'm not surprised you like to play there. Okay, if you could meet anybody in the world, so if we could open that door and bring anybody in here to meet you, who would you like to meet?
Mikael Grabowski off Toronto.
Okay. So this is a guy that you like to watch play and be interested in meeting and get to know him a little better. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Any unusual fact about yourself that you can think of?
From Stickney, New Brunswick. Not many people know where that is.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about where exactly it is. I know it's near Florenceville, so it's north of Florenceville?
Yeah, it's in between Heartland and Florenceville.
Okay.
Just a little small town.
Okay. And so you grew up there, and you mentioned the four-wheeling, so you're right in the countryside, which means beautiful countryside there for sure. Do you like to fish?
Love to fish. We live right beside the St. John River.
Yeah, so you'd be out fishing in St. John River for sure. Yeah, it sounds like it was a great place to grow up, and one of the more beautiful parts of the province for sure. Okay, just a few more questions for you. So we are heading into the second half of the season here, and the first half was, I think the team's over 500, but really if you look at being a young team and how far the team has progressed since the start of the season, you guys have really done quite a good job. So what do you have to do to keep up the play of the Canadiens and head into the provincials on a good note?
Just play confident as a team.
Okay.
Come together and work hard every night, and we should be able to compete with anybody.
Okay, very good. Now, you personally, what are your future plans for are you going to stay in the hockey realm? Would you like to see how far you can go, or what are your thoughts?
I'd like to get a Q tryout next year.
Okay.
And play
Okay, very good. All right, just a couple questions for you. So if I had 2 tickets to any sporting event in the world, past, present, or future, what would you like to go see?
Toronto-Montreal game in the future, playoff games.
Okay, a playoff game perhaps, yeah. So do you have a preference for Toronto or Montreal? Would you like to go to the Air Canada Centre in Toronto or maybe to the Bell Centre in Montreal?
I'd like to go to Toronto.
Toronto, okay, very good. All right, my last question for you, and I asked this one to our previous interviewee, and I'll ask it to you as well. So tell me, if I had $50,000 to give you, and you could go out and buy any vehicle of your choice with that $50,000, what would you like to have?
Just a new two-door Dodge 2012.
Okay.
Truck. Yeah.
Very nice. Color?
Red.
Red one. Nice. Well, we'll go well with the Canadiens. Well, that's wonderful. Thanks very much for joining us, Nick. It's been great getting to know a little bit more about you, and best of luck in the second half of the year.